everyone, Christina Ray here. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be putting together what I like to call my accordion album. This is not an original design, but I did have a brilliant idea, and that was I'm going to use this to display my Zentangle cards. It says you can also use this as a little brag book for your photo albums, and it also is unlimited. You can do a never-ending album. Come along with me and let's put one of these together right now. So you need 3 pieces of paper that are 7.5 inches each. You need 2 pieces of decorative cardstock, and these are each 5.5 inches square. Then you need 2 pieces of chipboard or cereal box, and these are each 4 inches squared. Okay, and then you will need some ribbon of your choice, and you'll probably want to think about the kind of ribbon that you want to use, whether or not you're going to just tie a bow or if you're going to put some sort of attachment that has like a magnetic clasp, something like that. Okay, so you might want to use a thicker ribbon. So the first thing you want to do is you want to take your 3 pieces of cardstock and you want to score them. So push the cutter out of the way. They're 7.5 by 7.5. So you're going to score it right in the middle, which is 4 1/4. Right? No? What is that? Let's stop. What is half of that? Oh my gosh, I can't think, my brain. Score it at 3 3/4. And then you want to turn it and score it again at 3 3/4. Okay? We're going to go and score it from one corner to the next, only on one. So line this up. Okay? So you're going to do that with all 3 of them. So once you have all of them scored, you can go ahead and crease them. If you want to get a bone folder out, you can. That's fine. I don't know if it's that critical, because eventually it will take shape. And when you folded these, turn it over, because you want to fold the other way. That's a mountain or a valley. Okay, so that way when it wants to fold in, those corners are on the inside. Okay, let's do that again. All right, so fold, open, turn it, and fold. Then you want to flip it over to fold on the diagonal. And that way, when it wants to naturally fold in on itself. Okay, one more time. Fold, turn it, fold, then turn it over to fold that on the diagonal. You know what? If you accidentally do it the other way, it's okay. You just fold it. Just, you know, turn it over, and no crises here. So the next step is we're going to use glue or double-sided tape. Whatever you use, you want this next step to be fairly secure. So what we want to do is, you notice they're all kind of coming up. You're going to want to turn the middle one over, all right? Once again, it's not critical, but then we're going to put glue on one side. Okay, stick this onto that corner. So your diagonals are all going straight up and down. And then you've got that. So you just kind of want to make sure all your folds are still working. And same thing. Usually what I do is, if I glued the middle one on top, I go ahead and do the same thing to this side. So you put some glue in here, and making sure that you can still fold all of your folds. Okay, so there's your base. And then you should be able to fold them all together. And then you've got that nice little square. That's the basis of it. Okay, so we can lay that aside. The next thing we want to do is we want to decide which side that we're going to use for our base. Maybe I'll use this side. Anyway, so I'm going to just glue that, cover this pretty decent, not too thick. And then just do your best to kind of eyeball it in the middle. Not critical. Again, if you want to take your bone folder, make sure it's all on there, that's great. Okay, we're going to do that to both of them. Just grab you a pair of scissors. And then I know we've kind of talked about this before. You're going to cut at a diagonal, but you want to make sure that you don't cut it all the way up. You want to leave a bit. And there's a reason for that, because when you do it this way, you make sure that you are covering all of the cardstock, and it really just gives you a much better, cleaner cover and keeps that corner from getting out of whack. Okay, so just cut those off. Good enough. And then we're going to fold these over. Usually what I do is I take my chipboard and I just run it up against something secure, the table. And that way I know I'm going to be pretty close. You can do that to both of them before you get your glue out. And then again, we're going to put some glue down. Doesn't have to be a whole lot. I'm going to go ahead and put it on all of the sides. And then go ahead and pull those over. I usually take my thumb and pinch in this corner here, just so that it makes a nice, clean fold. Now, I don't know that there's really a perfect way of doing this, but the one thing I will say is, whatever you're going to do with your ribbon, now is the time that you need to have that decision made. So you're going to cut a piece. It should be at least 12 inches. I usually give mine a little bit more space. And what we want to do, now if you think about this, is going to be folded up, right? Everything's folded along itself. And that ribbon is going to tie around everything, right, to secure it and close it. So I'm going to want to secure my ribbon to the center of one of these cards here, or the back of the cardstock. So like I said, really don't know if there's a good way to do this, but you want to get to the back side and put your glue or your double-sided tape. Probably want to get it fairly close to the edge. Okay, then we're going to just try to eyeball this to make sure that it is fairly close to center. If you want to get exact, line it up there. You're probably only going to have about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. couple minutes there to shift it. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other side. You probably want to make sure that you're putting the glue on the cardstock so that you don't overshoot your cover. And then again, you just try to get that as lined up as you can. This is where glue comes in a little bit handier than double stick tape because it gives you some grace if you're a little bit off on your measurement. I love that this has the St. Louis arch. It kind of makes me happy. Being that I'm from St. Louis. So in essence, there you have it. Pretty easy, huh? So then your next step is to get to tangling, and that way you can put your cards in. I'll grab a few. Some of them are finished, some of them are not. And you get those little bad boys in there. Again, when you go to do the centers, the ones that have the diagonal, you're best if you cut it in half. And I will show you a completed one. Again, I think that gives it a little bit more of a dramatic look, and it gives you spot for 18 full 3.5 by 5 tangles. I really just thought this was a handy way to display some of my art. So happy tangling. Thanks for joining me today, everybody, and I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more exciting things coming your way.